everybody, and welcome. Here is Logan Dillon. Logan, how are you?
I'm good, buddy. How are you?
I'm doing well, thank you. What you been up to lately?
Man, I'm working on race cars, like always.
That's always fun. So, Logan, talk about how we met. Do you remember how we met?
Man, yeah, I remember how we met. It's kind of a funny story when you really think about it.
Yeah, well,
We met off of NASCAR Heat 4, actually, on PlayStation.
yep.
What did we actually end up doing?
So, I joined a lobby with you, and then someone in there asked if anyone wanted to join a league. I said, sure, I'm down. And actually, no, you and I raced for a while, and we were racing hard, aggressive, but clean. And then you decide to throw a wrench in there and go, leader takes the high side. Because I guess we were whooping your butt too much there. So.
Oh yeah, you were pulling me down the freaking straightaway, dude.
I always did, no matter what track we went to.
Oh yeah.
And then someone asked me if I wanted to join a league. I said sure. Then I ended up having to go do a qualifier race for them to make sure that I was good enough for their league. And I think 2 or 3 weeks later, you ended up getting into that same league because I recognized your voice. So. You have kind of a unique voice that I kind of remembered. And then after that, you're like, let's go practice Bristol, because that was our next week in the series. And we started chatting that night. We exchanged Snapchats and then raced a whole lot. And yeah.
And then I kind of pushed you to start this whole thing too, didn't I?
Yeah, you did. I had this in my mind for a while and just couldn't do it. But because of the pandemic, it kind of let me have that drive to do it and not just kind of sit on it and be like, oh, maybe I'll get to it next year or next off season. You did kind of help me push to start Jomo Media, and I can't thank you enough for that, man.
Hey, look where it's brought us. Look where we're at now.
I know, man. We're doing a dang podcast.
I know.
It's kind of full circle, and it's been fun. And I decided to, like, hey, let me throw my name on your car.
Thank you enough for letting me race for you.
Yeah.
Yeah. I can't thank you enough for letting me race for you, man.
Man, you know, it's been a pleasure having my name on your car, and especially with the pictures, especially when the photographer's in the infield, and you're sliding through the corners, and all you see is a big Jomo Media sticker on your hood, man. That man, every time I see those pictures, man, it brings joy. It brings a smile across my face. Like, man, my company, my name is on a race car.
It's where it all starts, man. And I like having it on there. To me, it's some of the most badass pictures you'll see too.
Man, every single one is badass.
Getting the hood pictures of the car, the side pictures too, that some of the guys take, but they don't take them very much.
Yeah, and obviously the side ones that show your other sponsors, they don't get a whole lot, but when they are, they're definitely a one of a kind picture.
For sure.
Especially the one that I kind of used, I think for like 3 or 4 posts there on Instagram.
Yeah, the one
to help show off all your sponsors.
One.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Man, as much as I want to promote me, like, it's all about promoting you and all your sponsors, because they're the ones that help you get to the track each week.
Well, hey, you're the biggest help that gets me to the track each week. Without you, I probably wouldn't have raced as much as I did this season.
Well, hey, look what it got you, though.
We got 2 feature wins and 2 championships.
I call that a successful season.
Hey, I couldn't have asked for a better season.
Man, I can't thank you. Like I said, I can never thank you enough for letting me be a part of your program. It means a lot to me.
Well, it means a lot to me that you want to be a part of it. I'm humble about all my sponsors and having them on my car.
Yeah, you're definitely you're a wheelman. I saw that when we race online. We always race clean and hard, and that was something everyone in our lobbies always noticed about us, is that we always race clean and hard, and we'd always finish 1-2.
Always.
Except for when I started front row high side, I was gone.
Yeah, especially at Eldora.
At Eldora, that was one of my hot tracks. Now it's not. Now it's actually Texas.
Oh, yeah, because we used to race there so much.
I know. I got my first feature win there, actually, eh? In
Yeah, I don't remember where I got my first one.
Oh man, where was it?
I don't remember.
I know it wasn't Eldora. Was it Drebin?
No, it was. No, it was Eldora with the trucks.
Yes, it was Eldora with the trucks. That's what it was.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a lot of fun.
Yeah, I had it like 10 seconds on everybody.
Yeah, you were a badass on that track that week. I'll give you that. Because you were slow everywhere else, it made up for it.
Yeah. So I actually started finding setups out.
Yeah, exactly. Hey man, same here. I like hell. I was actually leading on Sunday night in my league race, and I ended up getting taken out with about 20 to go, with someone coming right across a lap car coming right across my nose and spinning me to the inside of the track, and ruined my night and finished 10th on the race. But man, I was looking for that second W of the year. Sorry.
Yeah.
I was trying to match your total.
I don't do much online racing anymore, man.
Man, I hear that. That's pretty much the only day I get on my PlayStation a week now, is every Sunday for that race.
Yeah.
So anyways,
you got a lot going on now.
Oh yeah, I bet. So let's talk about your let's get back to your race career here. So how did you get started in racing?
When I first getting into racing, I started at a go-kart track. I started at, I think it was Formula One racing.
Okay.
I think that's what it was.
And whereabouts
like
is that?
It was right off of Highway 3, right across Ellington Airport and Clear Lake.
Okay.
Which is, it's close to me in Houston.
Okay.
And I used to race there.
In a go-kart there, just like in a league?
In an electric go-kart. Well, I didn't start out in a league. It started out just me kind of having fun with it, and then and eventually ended up getting into a league there.
Okay,
and
nice.
Every 6 months they would change the track up. And as soon as they changed the track up for the last time before they shut down, I held the record there. And me and this one guy kept trading back. I don't remember who ended up getting the record finally before it shut down, but that's kind of where I started. And
okay.
I joined a league there, and it was $1,000 to win.
For the year or for a race?
For the year. I think it was like a 12 race series.
Okay.
And the guys I was up against, they were freaking tough. They were fast. And if you let them get clean air, it was gone.
Yeah.
They were gone. But I ended up pulling it off and winning that. And one day, one of the workers that used to work there, called me and my dad, and said, we had talked before. We had kind of exchanged numbers and everything, and we're talking. And he one day called my dad and I out of the blue and said, hey, come out to Gulf Coast Speedway and bring your helmet. So later that night, we went out to Gulf Coast Speedway and we watched him race. And he was racing turf tire back then.
Okay.
And there were 4 cars total in the entire turf car field. This was 2 or 3 years ago, maybe 4 years ago. And after all the races were over, he came up into the stands, threw me his fire suit, and said, "Come on, hurry up." And I put on his fire suit. I didn't have fire shoes on or anything. I was in my tennis shoes, and he threw me his helmet and fire suit. And I got into the car, and there I went. I was off. And
Oh
he had to
wow.
push start me. He push started me off in second gear because I didn't know how to shift or anything in these cars yet.
Yeah.
So we bought his car. We bought that same exact car a couple months later, and it's still sitting in my garage, and we take it to the track every week just in case we need it.
Is that the 75 car?
Yes, that was the
Okay.
75 car, the yellow 75 car.
Yeah, that looks like a solid piece too.
Oh, the motor's built, and it's a pretty solid motor.
Yeah, I bet. And you took
And
that
it's
car up somewhere, did you not?
Yes, we took it up to Missouri this year. Finished
Yeah, I remember you
fourth.
telling me about that.
Yeah, we finished fourth Friday night in Missouri. Started 9th or 10th and finished fourth.
Yeah.
And then Saturday night at Sweet Springs, we put it into the wall.
Oh man. So you had a successful weekend then, like earlier this year.
Yeah,
With that car.
Did.
Yeah.
Yeah, up there we did.
All right. So
The car hasn't seen the track since then.
but hey, it's always good to bring it as a backup just in case, right?
Oh yeah.
All right. So you buy this car, then you at the end of the year, and then next season you get into it full time. What kind of learning curve was that, going from a electric go-kart to now being inside a roll cage with a fire suit helmet and wheeling around, sliding around a dirt track?
You know, it was definitely a huge learning curve, and we had problems with the car. I think we ended up blowing up 2 or 3 motors the first season we had it, because the motors were just they weren't good in them. They were already half blown up, or they were already kind of going.
Okay.
So we didn't have the greatest season. It was a learning curve, but I don't think I spun out. I think I spun out once the entire season.
Wow.
And that was an accomplishment, because I didn't spin out in front of the entire field.
Yeah, for sure. That would have been horrifying.
Yeah.
How many cars were typically in the field your first year? Like you said, the year before there was 4 cars. What was it like the first year you were actually racing?
There were probably about 6. It took a while for the class that I'm in to grow.
Yeah.
But there were probably about 6 cars.
Okay, nice.
But and it was just, I was just out there to make laps. I was out there to get seat time.
Yeah, that's typically the good idea for the first year.
I wasn't out there to try and win races or not.
Yeah.
But we got it. We got it down, and it was a good car for me to learn in.
Oh, I can imagine. Like heck, you flash forward 2 years there, and you're winning races and being in contention week after week for the win.
Yeah, it was. That car was definitely a stepping stone to getting me where I'm at. And that car is from the 90s. So it has go-kart steering in it. It's got, I mean, it's not a very it's not
a new car. It doesn't have all the fancy upgrades.
It doesn't have all the bells and whistles in it.
Yeah.
Yet. We're
is that an off-season goal there?
Possibly.
Yeah.
Possibly. We're kind of going to take the 20 car and have the motor rebuilt and have it gone through.
That sounds like a good off-season there then.
Yeah, we're going to make it a nice turf car.
Has the progress already started on that? Has the teardown started happening already?
Oh yeah. We're starting to get it down. But we're just kind of taking it slow right now because we got a while for off season.
When would your first race be next year? About March?
March probably.
Okay.
I'm not sure. They haven't released schedules yet.
Yeah, it takes a while for you always get that itch once the season's over, and then to go back racing, but at the same time you don't know when you're going yet, but you know you want to be prepared for that date.
Oh yeah, for sure.
So we quickly talked about your turf car there. So like exactly like what kind of car is it? Like what makes it how it is?
Micro Sprint. It's man, I don't. It's the Micro Sprint is it's an '01 Staller. It's an older. The
Okay.
20 car is. It's an older
Yeah.
chassis. But I mean, before this season we tore it down and went through it and repainted it and everything, and we just it was a lot of blood, sweat, and tears that went into that car.
Oh, I can imagine.
It was, I don't know. We built it. We built it for one purpose. We built it to have the best season on it, and
And that's exactly what you guys did.
that's what we did.
So what kind of motor is in the car?
See, CBR 600RR, the
Okay.
Honda.
How much horsepower does it put out roughly?
Probably close to 100, if not a little bit more.
Okay, nice.
It's just a stock motor. It comes straight off the bike.
Yeah.
I mean, we on an 8 mile track, like at Gulf Coast, we get up to 68 miles an hour going into the corner.
Oh, damn, that's fast. Like on
Yeah.
a short little track like that's speed.
Yeah, we're fast going into those corners. That and the grip. We don't have much grip, so we have to feather the throttle, and but it teaches you a lot. It gets you ready to go into A class.
And what exactly is an A-class car? Like, what's the difference between them?
The A class, you run on Hoosiers and not turf tire. You run on the actual racing rubber.
Okay.
You run on methanol more than likely, and you run on newer chassis.
Okay.
And the motors are built. I mean, a lot of guys have them redone either by Momo or any of the guys like that, and they're a lot faster for sure.
What would you say then? They're picking up about 75, 80 miles an hour before going in the corner?
Probably close to it.
Okay. So is that something that you want to end up going to?
That's the goal for this off season, is to build an A-class car. Get an A-class car ready to go into for next season.
Okay, nice. Do you have a car already for it, to get it prepared for that, or not just yet?
Not yet. I've got to sit down with some people and talk numbers.
Okay.
See if we can get into an A-class car. If not, we'll probably take a year off and just race here and there with the turf car and build an A-class car and get it ready.
Okay, nice.
But I'm not sure. It's not set in stone yet. I'm not sure what's going to happen.
Yeah. So let's talk about your 2020 season then. Like how did overall, like how did it go? How did you think your season went?
I think we've had the best season in a micro since we started. I mean, beginning of the season, we when that car was first built, we took it out for practice, and I was probably 5 laps into a run, and the car just shut down. So immediately we started having problems with the 2020 season.
Now, is that before COVID or after COVID started here?
Oh, this was before. This was before COVID started.
Okay.
This was on a play day.
Okay.
Before the season even started. And So we got it fixed. We took it up to a guy and it ended up being an injector. An injector wire was cut. So we got it fixed and we ran it. We went back out and ran it. And immediately the car was just, I mean, it was on a rail.
Yeah.
And I think the first night on it, we ended up finishing 4th at Gulf Coast. And now we have, on average, we have at least 16 cars that show up.
That's a big progression from, just a couple years ago, eh?
Oh, yeah. The class has grown.
And the competition, I'm assuming, is a lot
Hugely.
tighter now, eh?
Oh, it's tough. It's tough. And A-class guys drop down into turf and race with us too, and that makes the competition even harder. And you let some of them get out in front, they're gone.
Oh,
So
I bet.
But we ran, I don't know how many races we ran before we went up to 105, but I mean, we were knocking off top 5 finishes all season long.
Yeah,
I mean, we finished.
I went back through your through the EMSA website there, and according to that, you only finished outside the top 5 maybe twice all year.
I think that was the last 2 races.
Yeah.
Yeah, the last 2, Friday and Saturday night on the Texas State Championship. That was the only night that we finished outside the top 5.
Yeah.
And I was knocking on the door of a top 5.
Yeah. Yeah. Exactly.
And you look at where I start on Friday night. Let's talk about that Friday night.
All right.
That race real quick. I flipped the car in hot laps.
How'd you end up flipping it? Like just going in the turn too hot, or?
Well, I hit a rut. The track was horrible, and I ended up hitting a rut, and the car just glided to the wall, and I caught the wall, and the car just rolled over.
Was it a slow roll or was it a hard roll?
Oh, it was kind of a hard roll, but
okay.
Only two things ended up breaking on it, so we took it back and got it fixed. I didn't run heat races or anything.
Okay.
And we get the car fixed, and I start 21st or 20th or 21st in the feature, and the track is gone. There's nowhere to race on it.
Yeah.
I go from 20th up to 8th, or 21st up to 8th, and ended up finishing 8th that night. Got hard charger. We passed 12 or 13 cars, and ended up getting hard charger for the night.
Nice.
Saturday night, we go out. My heat race, I start 4th. I finish 2nd. So that puts me into the dash. And we do the redraw for the dash and everything, and I start on pole. Well, all these A-class guys that have dropped down, they're kind of rough on everybody. So I just kind of let them go. And I think I dropped back to 7th, 6th or 7th, and I ended up coming back up to 4th, start 4th, and I finished 6th on the feature and ended up winning the EMSA championship.
That's awesome, man.
But that night was, yeah, those 2 nights were, those are the only 2 nights I finished outside the top 5.
Yeah, like that. How can you go wrong with a season like that? Knocking off top 5s like that, catching yourself a couple wins, and securing not only a track championship, but also the EMSA championships as well.
We just put ourselves in a position to do it, and I can't thank my dad and the supporting I have behind me enough for helping me and getting there and doing what I love to do. I mean, it's everybody that's helped me out. Johnny Brown, Luke Ivy. I couldn't have won those. I couldn't have won those races without them. They helped me out with setup and everything. But we ended up going up to Cleveland one night, and that was another top 5 finish. And we come back and the car started running like crap.
Oh yeah.
and we get the injection. There was something wrong with the injection. We get it back. We actually have a guy guy up at PMP, Cycle Salvage ends up building us a box. We come out the next weekend and take it to the Checkered. I mean, we were on a rail that night also.
Yeah.
And
So that was what? That was roughly August there?
I think that was,
if I remember correctly, that was around end of July, early August.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was August. Yeah.
So you go out August 8th and you get your first career win, feature win.
Yep.
What went through your mind when you crossed that finish line there? Like, how did you feel going across the finish line and you saw the checkered flag pointing at you, saying that you were the winner?
All right, that kind of is that's a tough question because when I crossed the checkered, I was passing lap cars, and there was a wreck. There was a wreck in 4 right as I went under them to the checkered. So the checkered flag had waved and the green light was still on, but the caution ended up coming out. And then they started waving the caution flag. So I didn't know if I had won the race yet or not. And I had a couple A-class guys behind me that were fast.
Yeah.
I was kind of pulling them down the straightaway, but they were still on me. There was no room for mistakes.
Yeah.
And we come back around another time, and they're waving the checkered flag again. And I honestly, I couldn't believe it. I mean, all the hard work that we had put into the car and put into the race team finally paid off. And I came around again and did a donut in the infield.
Which is an awesome shot, by the way. I love that GoPro footage you sent me.
Yeah, I had my visor up and all the dust got in my eyes.
Well, should have kept it down. That's the whole point of it, right?
Yeah, that was a mistake. But we ended up getting the checkered, and I got the flag and pulled it back on and passed Tech. And sitting in victory lane with a couple of my sponsors there and some of my closest friends at the time, there was nothing better.
Yeah.
And all the hard work that we had put into the car and put it into the race team, and I mean, that night just clicked for us.
It pretty much just made a statement like, I was knocking off top 5s all year. I'm not going to be denied now. I am now a staple in the micro sprint turf tire division here.
Oh yeah, I mean I don't look at it as we were a staple. I look at it as we're a competitor now. We can run with these guys and we can beat them, and I know that we can now. It was a huge confidence booster.
Oh, I can only imagine.
We finally did it. We finally broke the slump of not having a feature.
Yeah. Not gonna lie, the GoPro footage that you sent that you showed of you going down the front stretch, you pull off a 4 there. I'm assuming you kind of go down the front stretch in front of the fans. I have never seen a track that has done that before, and I love the fact of how close you get to the fans by going down that way. Is that, and then right at the end, some guy, puts his hand out and you kind of give him a thumbs up, and did it end up sinking in for you that, like, man, I can do this?
Yeah, I think once I kind of on top of my car for a second and just kind of relished in the moment that, man, we finally got a feature win.
Yeah.
And it sat in that we're there now. We're a competitor. It felt surreal.
And I'm assuming your family was all there, so you're able to give them all a big hug in victory lane there and holding up that checkered flag.
Oh yeah, we we got tons of pictures and everything else. And it wasn't just my family that I live with. It was my racing family too, and
Yeah.
that meant a lot to have them there.
I'm assuming everyone came over and congratulated you on a good race and on getting your first W there, eh?
A lot of some people did, but some people also kind of thought, oh, maybe he just got a break.
Maybe it was a
maybe it was
fluke
just luck.
victory. Yeah.
Yeah, maybe it was just luck. And
And
then
did you start up front in that race, or were you about like inside the top 10 at least?
I was inside the top 10.
Yeah.
I don't know exactly where. I think I was around 4th or 5th place.
So you made your way in, and how long are your features? Roughly like 20 laps or so, I'd say.
20, 25, yeah.
Yeah. So, 5 spots in a 20 lap, even a 25 lap race, that's still a lot when you're relying on slipping and sliding.
Oh yeah, because that track never has a good lane. It's always slicked off.
Does it does the line change like from top to bottom each week, or is it just a one groove track once it kind of washes away?
Once it washes away, the bottom's where it's at. I've seen people make it work on the top, but I don't know how they do it.
Okay, so that obviously like that they trust themselves going up there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I've tried to put the car up there, but I just don't get the run off the corner like they do.
Okay.
So we kind of keep the car to the bottom.
Okay. So, and then you rattle off another, I think it was like 3 or 4 top 5 finishes there. And you come out, I think it was September 12th, I want to say it was. And you go out there and you knock off another feature win there.
That feature win was a huge win.
Why do you say that?
That was a huge win for us. And I say that because that night we were fast, but it wasn't like we were the fastest in the group. There were other fast cars, and we were facing an A-class driver that won the Now 600 series for Lone Stars and won the track championship in A-class. So he was a heavy hitter coming down in our class. He was fast. He's always been fast. So we were going into it. I wasn't sure how we were going to end up. And we got through the heat races, and I think I was getting held up in my heat race that night, and I couldn't get around a guy. So we ended up just finishing second, which wasn't a problem. We were still fast. And that was the night that Johnny Brown and Luke Ivy really kind of started helping me out. I went up to them and asked them a little bit about setup and how I should set the car up for the feature. And I told them, I don't feel like I'm getting enough drive off the corner. I feel like the tires are just spinning more than I like them to.
Yeah.
And Luke Ivy comes over, and we jack up the car, and I had never touched a torsion bar before. I say that I take my torsion bars out and re-grease them and everything.
Yeah.
But I had never changed the setup of a torsion bar. I've never messed with it. He comes over there and puts half a turn into the left rear torsion bar.
Yep.
We go out for the feature, and I think I start 9th. I'm on the inside, and everybody going into turn 1 just blisters the tires. They all slide up high, and I think me and the A-class driver that was in that race with me, he follows me down. I think we passed 4, 5, maybe 6 cars just in turn 1.
Oh, geez.
And we come out of the corner, and we're fast. And me and him are kind of glued bumpers. I think within like 3 or 4 laps, we get up to 1 and 2. We get up to spots 1 and 2.
Yep.
And I'm kind of pulling him down the straightaway. He was better in 1 and 2, but I was better in 3 and 4. So we were. It wasn't like we were. It wasn't like we were pulling on one another.
Yeah.
And I don't remember how many cautions or anything there was.
Was there
There
a
were
lot of
quite a
cautions
few
that night?
cautions.
Yeah.
There were quite a few. And I remember Johnny Brown. Well, he's sitting in the stands, and I can see him out of the corner of my eye, and he's giving me signals. He's telling me how far ahead of the guys I am and how good we're doing and everything else. A restart comes around, and I'd start. I'm doing good, and I kind of blister the tires going into one again, and I slide up high, but I had enough cushion ahead of the other guys that it didn't really matter.
Yeah.
And I think the final caution, he kind of looks at me, and he points at the temples of his head, just like kind of like think, keep a cool head, just race how you know how to race. And I think it was 2 or 3 to go, and that the green flag dropped for our final restart, and I pull away from him, and we ended up taking around to the checkered for the second win. And that was a huge accomplishment to have beaten an A-class guy that was so fast all year long.
Yeah.
It was a huge accomplishment. That and the boy that I've been raising money for with cancer was out there that night also. It was the first time he'd ever been out there, and it was a special moment to bring back that checkered flag to him.
So I'm assuming you gave that the checker flag to him for the night, eh?
Yeah, they had left before our feature because he wasn't feeling good.
Okay.
He had been going through chemo, and he was exhausted. So they ended up going home, and we posted it on Facebook that we won, and within the next couple of weeks he got the checkered flag. I signed it for him and everything and gave it to him.
Man, that's awesome. So that would you started a little campaign called Racing for Roman, and
Yes,
you guys were dang it, I can't even think of the word. You know, you guys were raising money for him to help battle cancer. Do you, what kind of cancer is he battling?
it's a type of leukemia.
Okay.
I can't tell you exactly because it's a hard word to pronounce, but
Yep.
I believe it's a type of leukemia.
Okay.
But I mean, I didn't even know him at first. I saw that somebody needed help, and I jumped on board.
And
Like,
you
all
thought,
right,
what
let's get
perfect
this
way?
campaign going. Yeah.
Yeah. And so you guys made up some awesome looking stickers, which I'm kind of waiting for mine, by the way, still, just so you're aware.
Go get it.
You were selling them for $5 each. Do you still have them? Can people still reach you to help out?
If we run out, we get more.
Okay.
So we have plenty.
All right.
People
So
can still reach out and get some for us.
If anyone is looking for a Racing for Roman sticker that will help Roman's family out here with him battling cancer, contact Logan Dillon on Facebook, Dillon Racing, Dillon Racing, and get a hold of them. Get yourself a sticker. They're what, $5, right?
Yes, they're $5 a piece, or whatever you'd like to donate.
Let's help raise some money for a great kid, a great family, and hopefully help. You're helping out. You're helping out. You're doing a good cause here, and that's one thing that helps me respect you a whole lot, is that you did something like this without actually knowing them.
No, that's how I was raised. That's how I was always. I see somebody in need, I help them. That's how
100%.
my family raised me.
Well, I'm definitely going to be making sure I get a couple stickers off of you as well, because I'm going to put them on my car right above my Jomo Media stickers.
I'll send some up that way.
I got to get some things sent down to you as well. So we're both in the same boats here of getting stuff to each other. It is hard when I'm up here in Ontario, Canada, and you are south of way down south down in Texas.
Yeah, it's a little tricky.
We can't just drop stuff off to each other. It's different, but it's awesome all at the same time here.
It is. It's
So,
awesome to have.
Yeah. So as we kind of move forward here, that and you know what, that I can't say enough of you for doing that for Roman. That is for someone like myself who did lose his mom to cancer. It does mean a lot to see people like you step up and support a great cause such as this. So I want to say thank you for doing that.
Well, I appreciate it. I like doing it, and hopefully we're talking to some people about having an even bigger fundraiser, kind of as the car itself being a sponsor for a fundraiser.
Oh, that's awesome.
So they'll kind of sponsor us, and we'll raise a bunch of money for them.
That sounds like a good idea. Let me know when you get all that sorted out, so I can
It's
do
in
some
the
things
works.
on my
It's
end.
not. It's in the works. It's not a confirmed deal
Yeah.
yet, but
I'm just saying when it
we're
does,
talking
just make
about
sure you
it.
let me know.
I will.
I'll try and help out as. Oh, I know. I like helping you out as much as I can, and with what I can, with being, I think it's like 2,100 miles away from you.
Yeah.
It's tough, but I want to do what I can to help you.
Sponsoring me every weekend that's a big thing. Probably bigger than you know.
Hey, you know what? I may never know, but you do it. Like I said, it does a heck of a lot for me when I see that Jomo Media sticker riding around there, and I know it's helping a really good friend of mine.
Yes, sir. We appreciate it.
So after that race, you kind of go off on a couple more tears there with some more top fives. And when you found out you actually won the track championship, like it's been about a week now since you found out. How when you knew, what was the reaction?
Let's go get the other one. That's when we won track champion. We didn't know that we had won it yet because they didn't release it right away, and they didn't give us any trophies or anything. So we were just like, oh, all right, let's see. And then the next day, or in the next couple of days, they released it, and I was just like, let's go get the next one. We still had, there was unfinished business.
Yeah.
We still had another championship to go out and win.
Oh, 100%. And that wrapped up that weekend. Is that correct? Like, if I remember correctly, like you found out the Monday or Tuesday that you won the track championship, and then that weekend you were going to go for the Texas.
Weekend.
Yeah, the following weekend you were going to go race at the Texas Nationals. Was it
the Texas State Championship?
That's what it was. Yeah. Sorry.
At Gulf Coast.
Yeah. And when you offloaded Friday night for that, were you feeling confident that you had enough points secured that you were going to win that championship as well?
I think going into it, there was only like a 29-point gap. And I knew that it was going to be a nail biter. I knew that we had to have a good finish.
Yeah.
And I kind of got in my head, and that's what kind of ended up making me flip also, was me getting into my head. But, I mean, we bounced back and recovered.
Yeah, exactly. You go from a flipping and you still finish with a top 10 that night, which in other forms of motorsports, that's a rare occurrence.
Oh, we tried. We got the car back under us.
Yeah. Like you said, with only 2 broken parts, you were able to fix them really quickly and get back to the track to head out for that feature night, that feature race that night.
Yeah, we weren't sure if we were going to make the feature or not, but I knew I had the backup car there just in case we didn't make it.
Yeah.
With that car, I had the backup there and it was ready to go. I had it all the tire pressures and everything set up, ready to go.
You'd just rather be in the 20 car rather than the other car for that race, eh?
I would. The 20 car is a little bit faster than
Okay.
the 75 car. It's newer. It's got newer parts on it and everything else.
Yeah. So again, going from 20th or 21st that night all the way up to 8th, that was a battle in itself. And they were locking in the top 4, if I remember, from that feature race to lock them into the $1,000 to win Saturday night event. Is that correct?
Yes, sir. They locked in the top 4.
So like you were still like if a couple things went wrong with a couple of the drivers up ahead there, man, if you locked yourself in that night, that I call that the drive of the year. In all honesty.
we were trying to, and we were still moving through the field. I mean, we were definitely a top 4 car Friday night. We were fast. Even after we fixed the car and got it back out for the feature, we were fast.
Yeah.
And I mean, there were a couple cars that kind of held us up for a little while.
Yep.
And then we finally got past them. We started moving again. But I mean, we were fast all night. I mean, we were fast for the feature.
Yeah. So then Saturday night you go back and try to duplicate that all over again, eh? Except for minus the flipping.
Yeah, minus the flipping. We got out for hot laps and the track was a lot better than Friday night.
Yeah.
And I kind of take it slow because I don't want to flip again. So we kind of just took it slow. And in the heat race, I tried to get first, but I just couldn't get past the guy in front of me. He was kind of holding me up. I was definitely faster than him.
Yeah.
But I couldn't get past him. And then we go out for the feature and we get 6th. I think we finished.
Yeah, if I remember correctly, it was the 6th. You got sixth that night.
And that's what kind of counted. That's what we needed. We needed to finish in front of the second place guy in points both nights, and that's what we did. We went out there and did it.
And then you had to wait till Tuesday again to make sure that you were actually the points leader for the EMSA championship.
Yes, I think it was either Monday or Tuesday when we got the results for it.
Yeah. So it's been about a week now. Has it sunk in that you are now you won 2 championships in a year in your 3rd year of racing?
Oh, it's sunk in a way, but my mindset is kind of just take it as a lesson. Oh yeah, we won these 2, but let's go get the next one.
Absolutely.
Let's keep driving and pushing to get these other championships and move up. I mean, my dream is to race USAC sprint cars. That's what I want to do. And until I'm there, I'm never going to be satisfied.
That's a great goal to have.
Oh,
and I there's no doubt in my mind that you'll end up there one day.
That's the goal, hopefully.
So let's kind of keep moving forward here then, because now we're in the off season, right? So like you're now settling down. You've processed the championships. What are your off season goals to make sure that next year you're coming out on top with all cylinders firing, no misses, and just going up there and tearing up everything in sight?
We're right now we're kind of trying to find an A-class ride for next year. We're trying to find a car to go race. That's what we want to move up into is A-class. And we're trying to find one. We're trying to find something in our budget, or maybe we just get a chassis and we build a car and just kind of take a year race here and there with the turf tire car, and then come out at 2022 and just tear through everything.
Yeah.
But I'm not sure where we're gonna go yet with racing. I mean, there's a couple different directions. Getting on with Johnny Brown and Luke Ivy was a huge thing for us. I mean, we go out and help them every weekend when they're racing, and that's kind of if we're not being able to race, then that's where I'm going to be. Majority of the time is helping them, and they've got sprint cars and mod lights, and they've even got a midget that we're taking to the Chili Bowl this year, or I guess 2021.
So
And
I was just about to ask you is kind of what kind of cars do you get to work on when you go to the track with those guys?
we work on sprint cars, a 305 sprint car, a mod light, and a midget. And the mod light, I've driven his mod light. Actually, for Thursday night of the Havoc, I was driving his mod light.
And how did that go?
It went well.
Yeah.
I was kind of timid at it first because I didn't know what the car was gonna feel like. And once I kind of got the feel for the car, I started picking the left front up off the ground, and that was we got faster for sure. And I mean, they're having another mod light built, and they might need somebody to drive one. So who knows?
Yeah, man. Hopefully you get the call to drive that one night. That'd be a lot of fun.
That would be, and especially if we don't know where we're going with racing next season. The goal is A class.
But I'm sure if you can jump into a ride, you'd be more than willing to jump into 1A.
Oh yeah,
Even for a one-off.
If we can get a ride, I'll take it.
Yeah, because in all honesty, you never know who's out there watching.
That is true.
Right?
That is very true.
So some guy may see is like, dang, we need this guy in our car. And next, you're getting a call and they're coming down to the hauler afterwards, and you guys get talking, and now you get a shot in another ride.
That's what I was kind of hoping for, kind of towards the end of this season, was somebody to do that. Unfortunately, that's not what happened, at least yet.
Yeah.
But you never know. People might be looking in the off season.
Exactly. Like I remember earlier this year, you got to drive. What was it? A Legend car, I believe it was.
A dwarf car.
Dwarf car. That's what it was. I'm sorry.
Yeah. We had my cousin's dwarf car. We drove it for hot laps. And a couple weeks ago up at Cleveland, we got an A-class ride. That was a fun experience.
Yeah.
But it's just like that. That guy, the guy who had that A-class car, just came out of the blue and asked me what size seat I could fit in, and if I had my racing stuff. And luckily, I take my racing stuff with me everywhere. So we ended up driving that car.
That's what I've heard is if you're a racer, you take your stuff to the track, even if you're not racing, just in case someone sees you and is like, hey, I need a ride. I need a driver. Do you have your stuff? And you get a call to go racing.
I take it with me every time to the racetrack.
That's a good idea. So
it's paid off.
Yeah, exactly. You've gotten to drive some awesome stuff this year from what I've seen and from what you have told me. And it's something that I'm proud of you, man. Like getting to go out there, driving some different things and getting to know what you like and just trying new things. I'm proud of you, man. You've done a heck of a job this year in getting your feet wet in other rides. And that's something that's hard to match.
Oh, it's taught me how to kind of pick and choose what I like to drive and what I don't like to drive.
Yeah.
The micros obviously are what I feel most comfortable in, but the mod light was fun. And Johnny and Luke have talked about giving me a hot lap session on the 305, but I'm not so sure I'm ready for that yet.
Need to get your feet wet and other things first, eh?
Yeah,
because I'm assuming going from a mod light to a 305 is a giant step.
Oh yeah, a lot more horsepower.
Yeah, exactly. It may not be just like I'm not ready just yet. I want to, I'm just not ready yet.
Yeah, that's where I'm at. I'm not ready for it yet.
Yeah. So what event? So like now we're like again. What events are we looking forward to getting to in 2021?
Um, the Chili Bowl is going to be a huge event for us to go to. I had never
Yeah,
been to it before, and getting to work on a car there is going to be that's going to be huge for us. I'm really excited to go and work on a car and be a part of a team up there.
yeah,
Um, hopefully, I'll get to attend the turf tire, some of the turf tire races, some of the bigger turf tire events, and obviously, if Johnny and Luke go to wherever big events, I'll be there with them also. But nothing has been set in stone yet, other than the Chili Bowl that we're going
yeah.
to.
So are you worried about the Chili Bowl flu that goes around when they're when it happens?
No, I'm no, I'm excited for it.
Yeah, I can only imagine. We were talking about that earlier this year, and that how like I think it was like 2 to 3 years or so that I was planning on going to the Chili Bowl, and we talked about let's we'll meet up, we'll go hang out at the Chili Bowl for a week, and just have a blast.
And I'm excited for that one too because I start going with these guys. I don't think I'm going to stop going with them.
No, exactly. I wouldn't.
So,
I could see you still going for years with them.
oh yeah, and they always enjoy having new people come up with them. So
Yeah.
you're probably going to be more than welcome to come up with us.
Well, hopefully, hopefully they don't mind a media guy just hanging out with them.
Oh, I'm sure they won't.
Because you know me, I'll be on my phone taking pictures and snapping and
Hey,
and just doing my media thing.
it's good for you and it's good for their sponsors. So
Yeah, exactly. So
that's what
other
matters.
than the Chili Bowl, which I know is going to be huge, a lot of fun, that's a bucket list item for me. And doing some turf tire stuff, turf tire stuff. Any big events you're looking forward to next year that you might be interested in running if you get a shot to?
The Halloween Havoc, I'd like to race. The Texas Grand, I'd like to race also.
Okay. What's
Um,
the Texas Grand?
it's actually coming up, but if we get a ride for it next year, I'd like to race it. It's a it happens at 105. It's a huge event. There's 4 classes, A class, 4 or 5 classes, A class, modifieds, stuff like that come in and run. And I would hopefully, if I can get an A class ride for it, or if I have an A class car for it, I'd love to. I love to race in it.
Yeah,
It's just a big what if. So we don't know where we're at for next season yet.
exactly. Like when you don't know, you don't know, but you can always dream of the events that you can run at next year.
Yeah. Hopefully we'll be over. Hopefully we'll be in it.
Yeah, exactly. Like if you get a shot, man, take it, right?
For sure. For sure.
So going forward and talking about these events and whatnot and your off-season goals, and you mentioned earlier you want to get up to USAC, to doing USAC midgets. What other goals do you have as a driver?
Just I want to learn as much as I possibly can. I don't want to just be a driver. I kind of want to. I want to. I want to learn setups and everything else. And I know a lot of USAC drivers they're like that. They have setup. They learn setups and stuff. But I want to kind of learn it early.
Yeah.
Probably like most of them did. I want to. I want to be more than just a driver. I want to be a crew chief and everything else, and try to learn as much as I possibly can.
Yeah, you kind of want to work your way up the ladder.
Yeah, and as a driver also. I mean, I want to progress as a driver. I want to learn. I want to learn different things. I want to not be timid or scared to try something new.
Yeah.
I want to maybe these other guys are doing these same exact setups week in and week out, and maybe we throw a random setup on there, maybe it hooks up, maybe it works.
Yeah.
So I want to be able to try different things, and I want to get the knowledge to learn. I want to get the knowledge to be able to do that.
And that makes a lot of sense. Like, you never want to just be, as a lot of people always say, you always want to wear multiple hats at a track. You want to have that crew chief hat. You want to have the driver hat. You want to have you want to have the tire man hat. You want to have every possible job you can think of at a track. You want to have it, because then that adds to your resume.
For sure.
Yeah, I completely understand that. I went from as a crew member for a top rate late model team here in Southern Ontario, and then a buddy of mine jumped into his own deal, and I said, "Hey, need a hand? Let me know." I'm kind of like, the other guy I was crewing with, he was kind of slowing down and stopping racing, and I was like, I don't want to stop going to the track, but I kind of want to do something else. And he let me start working with him, and then that stopped a couple years ago, last year actually, and then was helping out a couple other guys, and then kind of fell into my own here with doing this media thing. And this past year I did the stuff for the Young Drivers Canadian Vintage Modifieds, and it brought to me a whole different light of the series. Like, I still get to go to the track, so it's a lot of fun, but it's just, I've now worn multiple hats, and it's something I've never thought I got to do, and now I get to do it, right?
Well, yeah, that's where it's at, just learning and getting the different experiences. And that's why I love doing this so much, because I learn so many different things from different people.
Yeah. So now that our season is wrapped up, is there any sponsors or a special thanks you want to hand out here?
Oh, I'd like to thank you for allowing me to do this and allowing me to fly your colors on my car.
Well, it's
It's
definitely been a pleasure, man.
it's helped us out a lot this season, and I guarantee that we wouldn't have won those championships without you.
That means
I
a
want
lot,
to thank
man.
you. My dad, my family. My dad's a huge supporter of this and getting me to the track and helping me out with everything. And just he doesn't know all he doesn't know a whole lot about dirt track. He used to grow up at the drag strip, so he has more knowledge there. But he teaches me a lot. Even
Yeah.
he transferred stuff over and he teaches me a lot, and he's been a huge help getting me to the track and allowing me to race. Um, all my sponsors from this season: Buccaneer Tree Service, Bobby Hodges, um, Terry Torgensen. He was a huge help this season. M&M Plumbing, um, Texas Yamaha. They've helped us out a lot this year. Main Street Steakhouse. It's the best steaks in Texas.
We'll have to go there when I finally get down there.
Oh yeah, for sure. Rex and Effects, they painted the car for us and everything else, and they're looking to get on for next season as well. Flying DD Transportation. It's if without them, it's my dad's company and my brother's company, but without them, we wouldn't be on the racetrack. And I know I'm forgetting one. I know I always forget 41 Shocks, Earl Baxter. They help us with all of our shocks and everything. Ink and Design. I'd like to thank them also for getting us all the decals and everything that go on the cars. I think that wraps it up. PMP, Cycle Salvage, and I want to give a huge thanks to my dad, Johnny Brown, and Luke Ivy. Without them, it'd be real hard to get on with the racetrack.
Yeah. Oh man.
and
Oh.
Jomo Media and Promotion.
Of course, you got to make sure you actually get my name in there,
Yeah.
eh? Not just say, yeah, I want to thank you. Like, you've helped me out so much.
Yeah, I got to get Jomo in there.
Well, man, it's been a pleasure here. It has been a blast talking to you for, I think it's been the last hour or so, actually.
Probably.
We got a lot of great stuff here. I'm going to be happy to pretty much put this out actually all unedited.
Hey, that sounds good to me.
So
Makes it more personal.
Exactly. You know, I don't want to cut and scrap anything, because everything we talked about today was absolutely awesome. It got to know you on a much more personal level, and it'll make for good listening. And I hope that people down in your neck of the woods, down in Friendswood, Texas, there gets to listen to it. I hope people here in Southern Ontario here get to hear it, and this thing takes off into what I hope is to be a wonderful partnership, not only with you but with your team, and getting Jomo Media and Promotions out there.
Oh man, your name on my car isn't going anywhere anytime soon. I can promise you that.
No, I believe I'm going to be sticking around with you for quite some time.
Yes, sir.
Even if Jomo Media and Promotions isn't around, I'll still help you out.
We'll take it.
All right, man. Well, it's been a pleasure with you. It has been a lot of fun. We hope to we'll chat again here soon. We hardly go a week without talking to each other, at least once or twice. But we'll have to get back online there and race a time or two here, and just race like old times, even if we get onto Tony Stewart or something.
Oh, for sure. I'm 100% good with that. We need to do
it. Well, and
I know that we're.
I look to be also getting iRacing here soon, so that'll be another area I'll be able to whoop your ass in.
Oh, you ain't gonna whoop me in that. I promise you.
Oh, buddy, come on! I would never think I would have whooped you. I've never raced it. You know, I've never done anything dirt wise, and I go out here and I whoop your butt. So,
Well, we'll see about all that.
Well, man, like I said, it's been a pleasure talking to you for the last hour. It's been a lot of fun. We got to know you on a much more personal level, and I can't thank you enough for sticking around with Jomo Media and Promotions for the 2020 year. The year that really shouldn't have been, but it was, with COVID happening and everything. And it's been a pleasure to be on your car week after week, and seeing you up front and racing hard each week.
Well, it's been a pleasure having you on my car, and I look forward to many more years with it on there.
Yes, sir. I look forward to having it on there, and even if we end up getting into a much more bigger capacity as well, because when I get down there, we're definitely going to be doing some media day stuff, and doing a whole lot of stuff done to help better promote you as a driver.
I'm looking forward to it.
All right, bud. We'll let you get going, and you have yourself a good night.
You too, man. Thank you again for everything.
No problem.
Anytime. I appreciate it. It's awesome.
Well, like I said, you have yourself a great night. We'll catch you later, all right?
Yes, sir. You too.
All right. Bye.
Thank you.
No problem. All right, guys. That was my friend Logan Dillon. We want to thank Logan for jumping on the podcast this week. Guys, we do have a full podcast, some little extras and whatnot. Check us out on Apple, Google, and Spotify at the True North Racing Podcast. Hopefully, I'm going to put some more videos out here soon with our guests who we have videoed with. So, guys, keep an eye out for those. We're going to hopefully have some more video content like that coming out here soon, guys. Thank you, everyone, for listening to this. Check us out on Apple, Google, and Spotify. Check us out on Facebook and Instagram and Twitter at Jomo's Media. Guys, I got a merch store, Jomo Media, and hopefully the True North Racing Podcast store here soon. So keep an eye out for that, guys. Everyone have a good night. Enjoy. We'll see you guys next week.